So since it is the start of the new year, hello guys, gals, and non-binary pals, welcome back to my channel. My name is SimsPhie, and I'm back with another video. So since it is the start of the new year, I've seen a few different simmers do this, so I thought I'd come at it from my perspective. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I want from The Sims 4 going into 2021. So I've kind of put this video into two sections, first addressing kind of gameplay features, fixes, and packs that I would like to see, and then after that I'm going to basically address some areas of diversity and inclusion where I think the game could use some more. So the first thing I desperately want to see, honestly, probably the thing that I want the most from The Sims 4 going into 2021 is generations. I really got into The Sims during The Sims 3, and my favorite expansion pack of all time was Generations. It was just fantastic. It had all these amazing little things for each stage of life. There were strollers for your babies, like canes for your elder Sims, just all sorts of really cool things for every stage of life. Cute, amazing, family-based, relationship-based little details that like really brought a lot of life to The Sims, and I really think that that's something that The Sims 4 could benefit from going into 2021. So that's like, of all the things I could hope for, Generations is like my number one. Another thing that I'm really hoping for in 2021 from The Sims 4 is improved babies. So babies are not like the most exciting life stage, but like they're still an important part of life. It wasn't really until The Sims 4 that we've kind of got babies that were just absolutely useless objects. If you've played The Sims 3, you probably remember that babies were those like weird little taco shell wraps and you could carry them around, give them a bottle, they would cry, you could put them in a stroller. Like there wasn't a ton to them, but like enough for them to feel like a real cohesive life stage and something you'd want to play with and experience. In The Sims 4, babies are literally stuck in the bassinet, so like you can't even pick them up and walk them around the house. Like they're that useless. I'm not really sure why they made that decision going into The Sims 4, but it's definitely one of the most annoying things about this game, and I really would like in 2021 for the babies to be freed from the bassinet. Like I don't really need like a crazy amount of stuff for babies. Like I'm not looking for a baby stuff pack. Like I don't think that's necessary, but honestly all we really need is to free them from the bassinet, and that would be enough to like really change the experience of raising babies in The Sims 4. So also along these lines of like generations, babies, and family gameplay, I would also love to see more things for teens. Currently in the game, teens are basically just I was gonna say short adults, but they're not even shorter than adults. They're basically just like young looking adults. They can gain all of the skills adults can. They have part-time jobs, but also adults can do those. There really isn't anything super unique about teens. So I think it would be really nice if we got some things that could kind of be specific to the teen life stage, maybe certain skills or aspirations that are exclusive to teens, things that maybe have to do with high school or cliques or bullying, like really anything that would be specific to teens and unique to teens that makes them feel particularly unique from adults. I think that could also be a really interesting addition if we had, I guess this is sort of a tangent, but also one of the gameplay features I think I would really like as a pack that would also integrate into more for teens, which would be like more music stuff. So like a bands type of pack. If we added in things like the stuff that came in Sims 3 late night, stuff like the bass, the ability to make bands, I think that would be a really fun just like game pack in general that I would love to see, but also something that would really add to the teen life state. Another thing, while we're on the topic of family gameplay, which is my favorite kind of gameplay, so most of my things fall under this umbrella. Another thing I would really like to see is more relationship options. Things like the ability to select step parents in games, stuff like like a bromance. I think they mentioned something like that in a survey that went out to the Sims players at one point, and I feel like yeah, certain little relationship extra tidbits like that would be really neat. One more thing that is a little bit less important, so I'm not going to go into this too much, but something I also would love to see is farming pack. I've heard a lot of talk about this, especially right before Eco Lifestyle came out. I think because of that weird pack leak that ended up being fake, a lot of people were talking about it then, but it is something I would definitely like to see. Stuff like horses, barn decor, barn animals like sheep and chickens and cows would be really fun. I think they would just really mesh well with all the eco-based, gardening-based stuff that we have currently in the game, like rags to riches type style play that kind of flourishes in The Sims 4. And then last but not least, this is certainly a major one, bug fixes. So we've been having, especially in the recent year or two, a lot of bugs with The Sims 4. Particularly, I keep getting the one with the cake. That one drives me nuts, where my Sims just randomly start baking cake for like absolutely no reason, and it's so irritating. I don't really have this one, but I've heard a lot of people find Dine Out to be very glitchy. So there's certainly a lot of game bugs that need to be addressed. So it'd be great if we could see some fixes for those. All right, so next I'm going to talk a little bit about diversity in The Sims 4. So this is kind of like part 2 of this video. Recently, we got a lot more skin tone options in The Sims 4. I have a video kind of addressing that if you want more detail about the whole skin tone update, but I'm just gonna summarize it here. So they basically added a bunch more skin tones because we were really limited, especially in skin tones for darker skin tones. So they added just like a whole ton of new skin tone options, which were really great. I really like the changes that they made. So things going into 2021 that I would like to see are first more options for hair. I think that would be really great. More textured hairs. I feel like in recent years, we've definitely been getting a lot more, but still the overwhelming majority of hairstyles in the game are like straight, more hairstyles that are typically seen with people with more fairer complexions. So I think it would be really cool if we started to see some more textured hairs in the game. I would also love to see more hair color options, if there were more options for selecting hair or the undertones of hair, different kinds of highlighting in hair. And I think actually that could be a really good place for a color wheel. I know a lot of people really want a color wheel for like all of casts, but I don't really feel that that's necessarily necessary. Where one place I think that a color wheel would be really useful is in hair color, and I don't think it would be overwhelming in terms of the game's mechanics and running. Obviously, I'm not a game developer, so I don't really know, but it seems like maybe a small change they could add. Another thing that would be really important and great would be the introduction of non-binary pronoun options in the game, even if it's just something you can like select in CAS or possibly when your Sims are children or teens. I think that would be really great if you could just select like a non-binary option where the pronouns that come up in the game are, for instance, they, them instead of she or he. I think that would be really great for especially people trying to represent themselves in The Sims. Currently, non-binary people don't really have any options for that. And one more thing to address in terms of diversity that I think would be a really important addition to The Sims 4 going into 2021 is disability options. So this is not something we have in the game right now. Of course, this one can be a little bit tough because of course there are so many different disabilities, and disabilities present in every person in such a different way that it's really difficult to represent every single possibility or combination of disabilities that exist in the world. However, I don't think that this means that it can't be done or that it's something that the game should necessarily shy away from doing. I think some simple ways that we could make disabilities an option in The Sims for people who want to use them or people who want to represent themselves in the game. I think something as simple as wheelchairs or different types of crutches, for instance. Also, blindness or deafness, I think, could possibly be represented in the game using special buffs or interactions that are specific to those Sims. In a game where the main premise is the ability to create and represent yourself, I think it's really important that we try to represent as many groups as we can. So there are ways we could incorporate at least some disabilities as options in the game. I think that would be really great, as long as it's done in a way that is respectful and includes, people from those communities kind of to help create content that feels well representative for them. So yeah, I think I'm gonna end this video here. I'm really excited to see where the game goes going into 2021. I just saw the teaser for that kind of like Happy Haunts looking pack. I think I will do a reaction to the reveal trailer when it does drop. So with that, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a magical, marvelous day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!